One more again, come on in.
Base game. You know what I mean?
One more time.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. Yeah. My enemies frustrated cause I won't engage. I expose slaves, they ain't fucking with the culture wave. Till I'm holding great, potent on the vocal lay. In the streets or internet like an open J. Young king playing the part I'm supposed to play. Sapiosexual vibration, I poke your bay. She at your neck like he ain't got the answer sway. Jay got a colorful aura like anime. Young bull flex on our old niggas, go figure. I'm in bed with success, cozier than cold winters. They got a massive team, but nobody know business. I go with hits like a ho-ho, go with Christmas. Had to pause for the bros who missed it. Your boy flow wicked and so liquid. I speak life, build my own bridges. My gold glisten, only cause I'm so gifted. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. Whoa. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. I know you feel the climate change in the multiverse. Came up off the stoop in that same hat, only shirt. How you calling that a queen if she only twerk? You on your own with that, son. Lonely birth, move authentic. Views all tinted. We know that eye candy in them 2 doors rented. I ain't out of pocket, I've been cool for a minute. May you dig your own grave and you dudes fall in it. Official moves, like them dudes wearing red and blues. Get the clue, it's what you really better do. Nothing but my M's are new in the vestibule. Anyone else step into need a pedestal. Pin to the paper lines, hotter than an iron felt. Divine for the monoline, with the higher self. Pin to the paper lines, hotter than an iron felt. Divine for the monoline, with the higher self. Say, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it. Whoa. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Got something with it.
All right. Welcome to AMPspirationTTV again, the 1-year anniversary, and I am your host, the Plum Queen. Appreciate y'all giving me your time and your energy. This is Monday. This is the first episode of season 7. We are complete. A whole year has gone by, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all the reason why, because y'all be up in here, and y'all be watching me, and y'all be giving me all of your time and energy. I'm very excited, as you can see. Like I said earlier, my man, my mentor, Jamaar Milton, is in the building, and he is going to be dropping all types of lighthouse juicism up in here. So we're going to get him in here. I see the request situation, so I am sure that the universe gonna just let him just pop on it. Pop on it.
Hey.
Come on in, family. Come on in.
Come on in. Peace.
You say.
Yo, I'm so happy to be here. This is it. This is Liddy. I like this.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm that excited. I'm trying not to, I'm trying to act like we've been friends for 20 years,
Man, listen, cut it out.
Like that.
Cut it out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate you being here.
We're in the lab right now. Took a quick break. You know, I got to show you love for Inspiration TV. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you can do something consistently, you know, for a year, for that time stamp. You know, 365 days is not an easy thing, you know what I'm saying, to really indulge in any craft, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be able to do this, especially this to this magnitude, to be able to voice your opinion, have people
on and stuff like that and keep the airways open. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. I just want to congratulate you. I'm so proud of you, of everything that you're doing. I've watched your growth. I've watched your expansion. You know, it's just beautiful to see, you know, somebody actually taking these things and using it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, do I. I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. And you're the catalyst because right prior to I started this, I found you. I was a student that was ready and you appeared. So this is
Awesome.
how all this got started. So I really appreciate it. So I didn't know how to approach this, to be quite honest. I didn't know if I was going to interview you, have a topic or whatever. So I figured I'd throw some questions out here and just let the conversation go how it flows.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so I'm sure everybody, I talk about you a lot, I talk about the lighthouse a lot, so, and I'm all about this consciousness. So, what brought consciousness to you? How did you, get into consciousness?
I mean, I tripped and fell on it. You know, consciousness is not a I would say an overnight thing. It's something that it starts to gravitate on you, and it's almost hard to put a pinpoint date on it, right? For most people, I always say there's two ways that you come into this. It's either by choice or by trauma, okay? And with me, it was through a couple of events, traumatic events that happened to me that ultimately led to it. You know, it started, I would say, initially when I was in Chichen Itza a couple of years ago. I jumped off of like a 25-foot pier into the water, into a cave. Didn't know what was in the water, whatever, just decided to do it. I would say this was the first time like I've ever like had a small type concussion where I hit the water, right? And when that happened, I felt an instant change in my perspective because I was able to see with my eyes closed for the first time, like underwater, and be able to see what was around me. I was able to see fish and everything inside of a dark cave. And you know, after I got out the water, I started talking to the natives that was there, and we were just telling them like, "Yo, there's fish in here, there's black fish in here." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, there are. There's fish down there." And I'm like, "See, I knew it." You know, and I was trying to tell people like, "Yo, there's." I was able to see, even though I couldn't see. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. So that was my first inclination that there was an eyesight or some sort of visual aspect to us without our eyes. There's something that we can feel, that we can actually sense. And, you know, blind people talk about it all the time where they're able to see once they lose their eyes, they can still see through echo and stuff like that. There's ways that you can do that. So that's when I realized that there were more powers that we have as human beings than we've actually engaged in. And, you know, learning in Chichen Itza what was going on with the natives there and the Mayans and things of that nature, I was like, yo, this is stuff that I didn't learn, you know, in school, in particularly how far this rabbit hole goes. When they told me that these pyramids line up with the ones in Africa, I was like, you know, I need to learn a little bit more about Africa and the ones in Giza and figure out what's going on here. Because they told me that the Europeans came and took all their books and they burned them except for 3 of them. And those 3 are in like the Vatican and in Spain and things of that nature. It was a whole lot of different lessons that I learned during that time. But that started my curiosity, I would say, right? And then that ultimately led to me looking at you know, just church and the theology that in Christianity, what I was born and raised in for 30-something years. It made me look at that in a more historical standpoint as opposed to a spiritual and theological standpoint. It made me wonder, you know, how Christianity started. Where did it come from? You know, who are the characters in play? What are their lineages? Where's their bloodlines? You know, where did they come from? You know what I mean? So it was a process ultimately. And then, you know, another traumatic experience where I had a near-death experience where, you know, I had to be revived. And I realized that Jesus or the devil, neither one of them came to get me during that time. And I was like, yo, I need to figure out, you know, who is talking about what I experienced just now. Because, you know, Christianity, Jesus and the devil didn't show up. Neither one of them. I was expecting maybe, you know, I had done something wrong and the devil at least going to show up. That nigga ain't even show up. When he ain't show up, I said, yo, wait a minute. There's something else here that I'm missing. You know, so I need to figure out who's talking about what I just experienced during this near-death experience that nobody else is talking about, because the religions that I've dealt with are not talking about it. And that's when I fell upon, you know, Kemet and the things that they were saying. I fell in love with the visuals of Kemet. I was able to read the pictures without learning how to read the meta nature. And that's what ultimately led to my curiosity of wanting to learn how to read the meta nature, is because I was able to interpret those pictures without reading the actual words. And that's when I knew that there was some connection that I was having to these people that most people aren't having. So maybe I need to delve into this a little bit further. So I would say that that's where it ultimately started, those 2 traumatic experiences.
That's very interesting. So you went through something, you thought that you were going to die, and you were expecting to either see Jesus or the devil, and neither one of them showed up.
Right.
So that was your awakening. So what's interesting is a lot of people go through experiences like that, and they don't come up with that, they don't come to that conclusion.
Mm,
Why do you
right.
think that is? Why do you
Um,
think that is?
I think because within us there is an innate response, a fight or flight response with our DNA, where some people will react to it if they come from that lineage. Like after I've done all the work and realized knowledge of self that I'm actually tied to the royal ancestors such as Ramsey the Third and things of that nature, the royal Nasu, I realized that there's a part of my DNA that reacts to that. It must respond, and I think that everybody has that, right? It's almost like the mutants, right? The mutants realize what their powers are when they're faced with death. You understand what I'm saying? And I think ultimately we all have that part of us, but tapping into it is not for everybody. Not everybody comes from that lineage to where that's the part that they're tapping into. Some people just realize, hey, listen, I'm a beautiful person. Some people just realize, like, hey, I'm stronger than I thought I was. Or, well, with me, I just realized, listen, I come from a different ancestry than what I've been taught. So it unlocks, everybody has a genius talent, right? And I think fight or flight response or near-death experiences unlock those genius talents. When you get hit in your head or, something happens, flat, boom, everything that within you as a survival mechanism turns on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened to me. I believe that whatever it was for me to survive here on this plane and not take myself out was turned on at that moment. You understand what I'm saying? Because the universe knew what it needed for me to finish whatever work that was put here for me to do. So it made sure that it unlocked those things if I ever came to that position in life, you know?
Well, you just enlightened me on something. I feel that way about my accident now, because yeah, I definitely losing my arm definitely unlocked myself.
Yeah,
I
potential.
think that made that it. I think that's where that put me in a position to be the student, to want to learn those things.
Right. I mean, sometimes people don't realize, who they are or what their life is about until it's over. You know what I mean? And when you have, I look at it as a blessing, a near-death experience, because you realize your life can be taken from you like that. So you live every day as if it's your last, and you have something to do. Some people are just sitting around wasting time. They never had a near-death experience, so they don't realize how short life is, and how much little time you really have to showcase your purpose here. Your vision.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Okay, so the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Where'd you get the lighthouse from?
The lighthouse came. It actually was another situation where pretty much just tripped and fell on it. I was online one day and I was looking at somebody's they had wrote some, how you have your little profile on your page in the beginning where it shows where you're
Mm-hmm.
from and stuff like that. And somebody had wrote,
Yeah.
I'm the dog in the doghouse. It was something, I'm the pit bull in the doghouse or something like that to that effect. Right. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, so I kind of, it was kind of like a repost. It was almost like I almost stole it, but I was like, I'm the light in the lighthouse. I said, I'm the bulb in the lighthouse. And I put that, on my page, and it was random. It wasn't something that I was trying to incorporate or trademark or anything. It was a joke, really. I was like, I'm the bulb in the lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at a lighthouse, I look at it as a beacon of light, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a light being. I'm going to be one of those that's going to bring people to the light. So I was just like, I'm the bulb in the lighthouse, right? And then over time, what had happened was, and this is probably over a month or two, Brother Dwayne Jordan had nominated me for a Black Power Award, and they didn't know me at the time. He didn't know who I was. Some the people that were friends of mine and followers of mine recommended. It was the Lighthouse at the time. We didn't have the name Lighthouse yet, but the Lighthouse
Okay.
recommended for me to be a part of the Black Power Awards, and I became a nominee. So because they didn't know who I was, they just went to my Facebook page to try to figure out who I was. And on my Facebook page, it said I'm the bulb at the lighthouse. So they assumed that the lighthouse was my business, and the lighthouse was, trademarked or whatever I was promoting. You know what I'm saying? But it was really just a joke. And then You know,
Wow,
that's how the lighthouse was created, because they ended up putting it on the flyer. And then, you know, Queen Latifah actually said, yo, that, you know, she was like, that's kind of catchy. And she actually it was like, yo, we should just start a business, you know, with the lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to call it. We the lighthouse. So we just started running with it from there. We didn't actually name ourselves. It came just as a whim. It was kind of, you know, the universe just did it. You know what I'm saying? I really can't take any credit for it at all as far as the lighthouse being created, because it was just the universe just making that happen.
well, that's dope. I appreciate you, universe. You did what you're supposed to do right there. Cause
Absolutely.
love the lighthouse. Love that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the agenda for the lighthouse, because I talk about it a lot. There's been things going around. You know, it's been a whole lot of dissension in the conscious community. Period. So, from your mouth, what is the agenda for the light? What is the agenda of the lighthouse?
Long term or short term?
You can give it to us both. Start off with
Okay.
short term and go to the long term.
All right. So short term, we got a lecture coming up in New Jersey. That's coming up. I'm waiting for the flyer for that right now. I'm not sure what the topic is going to be, but we have a lecture coming up in, I believe it's March, early March, for New Jersey. That's going to be our first event there. We do have the divine feminine and divine women, divine feminine, divine masculine retreats coming up May and June. I'm going to be skipping all over the place because there's so many different things and I have to try to remember them all. But also we have going down in July, we have this big major event, which I'll talk about, the wake up call with Brother Ben X, Brother Rizza Islam, who else? Shareem Amira, AMPspirationTTV is going to be with us, or Tazara Path, Brother Red Pill. It's going to be a laced event that I'm really super excited for. I can't wait till everybody gets to see where we're going with that, Brother Darby, because it's going to be a 3-day weekend that we're going to be going into the community and servicing in my hometown, doing all of the things that needs to be done as far as gardening, just taking care of everything that we have. It's going to be a talent show. It might get so crazy because we got a whole park here, the Kennedy Park, which is like the epicenter park in my neighborhood. It has everything right there. So, you know, it's just going to be a phenomenal event filled with lectures and things that we're going to be giving away, you know, clothes and food and stuff like that. It's just going to be official. So we're looking for volunteers for that. Also, we have the Flint water drive that we're doing as well. We're looking to go into Flint, Michigan. When I do my first lecture in Michigan, we're looking to set some things up there. There are some things I can't even talk about that we're going to be doing in Flint because it's still in the works. But once it's set in stone, you know how the universe works with people trying to destroy what you're trying to do. So we don't put everything out there, but we just know that Flint, Michigan, when we get there, it's going to be phenomenal, and it's going to put a dent in it. You know, originally when we were going to go to Flint, we would just say, you know, let's raise $10,000 and bring some water, right? But that's not going to fix the problem, right? If that was ultimately what was going to be able to fix the problem, then we already did that, right? People would have already fixed that. 10 grand is nothing when you're dealing with something like that, right? But, you know, when you want to actually put a dent on something and have a long-standing impact, you know, some other options might be available. So that's where we're at right now, is looking at those other options that are available and seeing which one makes sense for the money that we've raised. So we're looking to do that as far as the future, as far as Flint, Michigan, and I'm looking forward to that. We also have, like we had last year, our family reunion, which is phenomenal. I can't wait to do the family reunion again. That was fun, right?
Yes, it was.
We met up in Brooklyn. Was that Brooklyn? Yeah, that was Brooklyn. We met up in Brooklyn for the family reunion last year, and I believe this year we're going to do it in North Carolina or South Carolina, and that should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that and partake in that in one of those sunshine states. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, what else we got going on? I mean, the Lighthouse is doing. Oh, we got music coming up. You know, the Lighthouse website too is up and running. The new album is going to be coming out this time. We're looking to have some heavy hitters on there. It's produced by half produced by Pro Era Records, Joey Badass's label. So that's going to be really crazy for the next album. I'm super excited for that. A lot of major accomplishments with the music. Doing a lot of shows, especially here in New York and stuff like that. You know, we just nonstop. We just working, man. However we can to get the word out and wake people up. You know, like I say, I'm just an alarm clock. You know what I'm saying? We doing whatever we got to do to wake people up. Whether we got to hit them with the music, whether we got to hit them with the lectures. We want to get into movies. We want to get into every fashion of talent that people have, poetry and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people have, we want y'all to bring your talents to the table because we want to showcase them and show people, you know, that you can be yourself, you can be conscious and still be successful in whatever it is that you do. And there's a lane for you. There's a space for you, you know, here in the conscious community and in the land of free thinkers. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just put in that work. We putting boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we about. We about the work. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about the Lighthouse. We're about the work. We don't care what anybody else is doing if it ain't really putting work in the community. All of that we can't be focused on. All the stuff that's surrounding it, all of the distractions, we can't be focused on because we did more work in 2018 than some people did their entire lives for the conscious community in such a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's no ego. It's just a fact. So, you know, and that's because we keep our eyes focused on the prize. We keep our eyes focused on what our job is and what our task is, you know, to do. We're not easily distracted here in the Lighthouse. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep that energy going. And that's where we at with it for 2019. Hopefully, you know, people are smarting up and see what it is. There's a lot of people that's watching the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? They trying to do what we do. They watching the blueprint. We know it. We see it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we put one in the air and laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. But we still, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this, like if anybody wants to compete with me with the work that we doing. Because that's all that we care about. We don't care about nothing but the work. If you ain't putting no work for the people, then everything that you're talking about is nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're speaking ill on the Lighthouse or any of the people in the conscious community, not just the Lighthouse. Because there are hardworking people in the conscious community. You have to be working hard in order to make an impact on the conscious community. This is why I commend you and why I show up for your show because, you know, to do something for a year straight is not something that is always done in the conscious community. People come and they go. You know what I'm saying? Some people come, complain, make a whole lot of noise, and then you say, okay, so what you got? And then they ain't got nothing for you, and they disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not about that. Like, if we're going to be making noise, you best believe we're going to be able to hold you down. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? When I do my lectures, it's like, let me connect you with some people in your state that you can link up with so you can get some family now because you can we're not just going to take you away from your religion and leave you out here in the world not knowing what the hell going on. If we're going to take you from that family or for that infrastructure that you're normally used to, we're going to introduce you to some other individuals so you can get more like-minded individuals around you and become stronger in your walk. You understand me? So that's what the Lighthouse is about. You know what I'm saying? We just different.
Well, I appreciate it because you definitely segued into what I was actually asking you because I wanted the overall agenda of what the Lighthouse is about. But you got to it. We about this work and spreading that and doing what we have to do to put boots on the ground and get it. That's what I was getting at. But we're going to come back to all the stuff you got going on because we need to talk about the website and all that.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Now, this is a personal question for me. How do you stay balanced? I'm a very emotional person.
How do I stay what? Balanced?
How do you stay balanced?
Okay.
Yeah. And I know you're a man and I'm a woman, so it's a little different where our emotions go. But I've been trying really hard to balance that out. So how do you stay balanced? And I'm sure you deal with more than I do, being in the status that you are. So how do you stay balanced?
Well, I'll say this. My queen that's her job. You understand what I'm saying? I'm so engulfed in what I need to do as far as my work. Shout out to my queen, Jennifer Jackson. Like, I'm so engulfed in my work that sometimes, I'm human and even I'll let my body down. Like, I'll put so much work in for the people and what I'm trying to do that, I'll have my body on the back burner and even sometimes even my emotions because I got to get the work done. Right. So, and her job is to monitor me as I stay engulfed in that. When you're working on your job with the people, family, your loved ones, work, aside from that, there's a lot of things on the table and I have to wear many hats, being a father, it's just a whole lot of things that come into play with that. So my queen always keeps me focused on certain things. She knows how to whisper in my ear, hey, we need to take care of this. Or, maybe you should take a break. You know what I'm saying? On that, like, she's the one that puts that little bug in my ear when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't notice it. I'll be so engulfed in what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? That I won't see it. So having a significant other or somebody to hold you accountable, a buddy partner, is important. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have a significant other, but just somebody that believes in your vision and your goal that's next to you, is super important. You got to have somebody that understands and has your best interest, you know, at heart, with any advice that they give you, that's gonna watch over you. You understand what I'm saying? Spiritually, physically, whatever it is, you need to have somebody there that's accountable for you. You understand me? Because I have to be accountable for her, right? And accountable to her and the family. So at the same time, it's in her best interest to make sure that I'm balanced and I'm where I need to be, mentally, spiritually, you know, and the whole 9 yards. So, you know, that's the first layer, right? And then the next tier, which nobody can do, is the tier of me taking care of myself and listening, right, to what my queen has to say, and listening to myself when my body is telling me, like, listen, you know, you need to take a rest, and or you know, you need to, you know, get your crystals, or vibe with some incense today, or make sure that you do your opening of the way this morning in at lunch and in the evening before you go to bed. Like, there's all different rituals that I take part in depending upon the situation that I'm going through, right, that help me through that particular situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just one thing. It's a multitude. It's a diet, right? Like what I was talking about this morning. It's a diet of rituals that you have to partake in to keep your body and your mind sound and because you can go crazy dealing with this when you getting new knowledge every day, stuff that nobody knows, and you the smartest person in the classroom, and now you got to go and tell everybody. Nobody wants to be the smartest person in the classroom that can't raise their hand. You gotta tell it, right? So if you don't, you'll go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So with me being able to share with the people is also therapeutic for me, for what I've learned. Because I know now that I'm not the only one that knows this. You understand what I'm saying? When I get on my live, now I know that I'm affecting my universe around me and everybody else. If something crazy happened, all I gotta do is look, because somebody else gonna pick up and they know what I'm thinking. Because I've already given them the intel to line them up to see what I just saw. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, if you don't tell your people what's going on with you and you just growing, that causes separation even more. You understand? You can't just keep learning and not balance out the universe around you. You got to make sure that you drop a hint. I make sure if I learn something crazy, let me hit my queen up with this real quick. And she the first person I'm telling, because she got to get it. If she don't get it, you know what I'm saying, and I'm in trouble. So I'm gonna make sure that she just find out what I just learned. You know what I'm saying? So we could bounce it off one another, make sure I ain't going crazy. And then when I realize I ain't going crazy, yo, I got to tell the people. You know what I'm saying? I got to put them on. So, you know, sharing the intel, the things that you learn, you got to do that. You got to do that. It's not a game.
Well, thank you for the validation. So now that leads to another question.
All right.
How do you balance out giving that information? Because that's me. As soon as I learn something, I want to share with everybody, but sometimes that rubs people the wrong way, which is also part of the reason why I started my platform. So I can get that off my chest without speaking directly to people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't feel like I'm trying to come for them. So how do I balance that out? How do I know when? How do you know when to share and when not to share?
That comes with a comfort within inside yourself and trusting what the universe has in store for you, right? If you see the ultimate vision and ultimate goal of whatever you're trying to do, right? You have to have some omnipotent gall. You have to have some I don't give a F about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to say how you feel and not care because their opinion does not matter. What people think does not matter. You know what I'm saying? What they think about you is none of your business. You understand what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you, as the chosen one to be a speaker and a revealer of truth, that you do your job. Otherwise, it doesn't. You know, you're not doing your job. It's either you're doing it or you're not, right? So who cares what other people think? This is not a balance thing. This is an occupation thing. What is your job? Why are you here? What is your purpose? Your purpose is to reveal the truth, right? So you can't care about it. You have to have some confidence about yourself, some self-esteem about yourself, where you don't care what nobody thinks. If you know that you're right and you've done the research, that's the thing. If you don't do the research, the confidence is not going to be there. If it's something that you're just pulling out of a hat and you just want to share whatever, you know, people can come at you from all different angles. But if you know that you've done the research and you've questioned yourself enough, right, realistically and honestly, you don't care about what other people say, because you know you're not going to find anything that I haven't saw already. You're not going to find anything that I haven't seen already, because I did the due diligent work. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where that comes into play. That's how you build your confidence, by doing the work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I'm doing the work, and I'm gonna keep doing the work. So
Keep doing the work.
I guess I do have to get that confidence, and I see it as trying to be balanced, trying not to be judgy, trying not to be the person that thinks they know it all. Because I guess this is things that people told me growing up. They think I know it all, or I think I'm always right. When I just see something and I care about you, so I see shit coming, and I'm trying to get you not to go there, and that's really what my purpose is. But they don't be seeing it that way. So
That's
I'm just
not
gonna
your
get.
fault.
It's
That's
not.
not your fault. Yeah, if they look at you and they say, "Oh, you think you always right," that's a reflection of themselves. They know that you're always right. You understand? That's their problem. You understand? That's not yours. You can't be upset about that or be, or be hesitant when it comes to that. If they think that you're always right, or you think that they think that you think you're always right, that's you being always right 90% of the time. You understand what I'm saying? So, or even more than that. So, no, don't be worried about what anybody thinks of you when it comes to sharing knowledge. If they don't want to hear the knowledge, fine, pick up your scrolls and walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep it moving. That's it. Don't be worried about that. Stay confident of who you are, know who you are, stand firm on it, stand on your square. Like I said, right? I'm just standing on my square. We everywhere, you and every day, all this shit you popping, dog. I ain't never cared. You know what I'm saying? Walking in the shoe size you ain't never wear. Shoe fly, shoe fly. Huh? I'm telling you exactly what you need to do in the record. Like, everything. That's the difference between me and some other. I'm not fronting here. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you exactly what it is because that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't be worried about what anybody's opinion is because most of these people that have opinions aren't doing anything. And they're upset that you're even taking the steps to do something. You understand me? Most of them aren't doing nothing. The ones that are talking about you are not doing anything in life or anything even close to the measure, or they want to do what you're doing. You understand? So in order for them to do what you're doing, they have to tear you down so they can be seen. You understand what I'm saying? They're in it for the wrong reason. So, don't ever let anybody discourage you from your walk and what you're trying to do, family. Ever. Because you're talented. You got it. Just the fact that you can do it every day tells me that you have what it takes. Because everybody can't do it every day. Not for a year straight.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm with it. I'm with it. I got that. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Fuck y'all. Y'all gonna get this work. How about
That's a
that?
fact. You strong. Listen, man. Think about all you've been through in life. You're strong enough to take that. Somebody's opinion don't mean nothing. You understand what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. You're way stronger than that. So who cares? Who cares? That's what Facebook is for. It's a whole platform full of people's opinions, right? You have the ability to do research and actually push facts and truth. So who cares about an opinion? Just off the rip that you're saying facts, the opinions don't matter. So now the goal here and the key to this is to make sure that whatever you're saying, it's not just an opinion. Don't be them. Make sure that whatever you're saying is factual, that can be researched. That's the truth. Because that's what separates you from the opinionators. You know what I'm saying? I call them the opinion haters. They're haters. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So just get away from them. Get away from them. And mindset wise, when you finish whatever you're saying, whatever you're about to say, before you say it, think about, is this truth that I'm saying or is this my personal opinion? And you'll be okay because you can't argue with the truth. You can argue with opinion all day.
That's a fact. All right, all right. Let's switch this up a little bit. How old are you?
I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 in October.
Do he look like he's 40, y'all?
Come on,
Nah,
man.
right? Not at all. Not at all.
Why,
You do
thank
not
you.
look like
Thank you. I
you look
appreciate
like
it.
you might. We look like we the same age. So I need to know how you did that. So what's your health regimen? Because
What's
we
my,
talk about health here.
yeah.
So how do you stay looking like that without going to the gym? Because you made that clear that you don't go to the gym. So how do you
Yeah.
stay?
I
Yeah.
used to years ago. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to the gym a lot when I was young. I was one of those kids. I didn't skip gym. You know what I'm saying? I love to participate in sports and things of that nature. So, uh, I come from a line of a line of family who was really strong-minded individuals. So, you know, we utilize our mind to shape and manifest our universe, whether it be physically, spiritually, whatever it is. A strong-minded individual can take control of their health and their body at any given time, because this is the mechanism that controls everything. You see what I'm saying? If you have a strong mind, you can tell your bladder when it's time to go pee. You can tell your stomach when it's time to go sit down. You know, tell your intestines when it's time to go sit down and relieve yourself. You understand? You can tell your headache to go away. You understand? A strong mind has the ability to overcome matter. That's what they talk about when they say mind over matter. So, you know, staying young is the same way. It's a thought process. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. So when I look in the mirror, I don't see a 40-year-old. I see me. I see me, and I get as old as I feel I want to be. You see, when I want to feel older, I can feel older at any given time. I can get up like this and go, oh. Or I can hop up like, yo, let's go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And my body will act accordingly. My body is going to follow suit of what my thought process is. You know, I know a couple of years ago I did I went to go see a keynote speaker. This is before I was conscious. His name was Ed Foreman. And I spent 3 days on a ranch, no TV, no nothing, just some books to read. And that's when I read the book As a Man Thinketh. It's a small book, real easy read. I recommend it for anybody. And that's when I learned the power of the mind, how, you know, your thoughts becomes your actions becomes behavior, your behavior becomes your habits, overall character and stuff like that, right? So that's where I learned, you know, that type of stuff from. So I always held on to that. Those were good things, you know, that I took. That was like a $3,000 course that I got for free for a job that I was working at. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it helped to instill in me some stability aside from what my parents had taught me and what I learned just growing up, you know, just in my environment and stuff like that. I had to be strong-minded because of the environment that I grew up in, you know. So, you know, as far as staying young, you got to stay stress-free, number one. You can't let nothing bother you past the point where you neglect yourself, right? No matter what pain it is, no matter what aggravation it is, you have to learn when to let something go. You have to learn when a battle is not yours and when it's time for you to just keep moving. You understand what I'm saying? Learn how to cut people off. I'm really good at that. I'm really good, you know.
Black game strong.
Listen, man. My block game, this finger right here, that's why I keep a ring on it. You understand? This finger right here is mean.
Oh, I know that's right.
That joint, listen, I be trying not, but I don't play no games. Like, my block game is mean, especially online, because if it's anything that's going to take me off my focus or anything that's going to take me off of what I'm trying to do, or even just take me out of my element of emotion and just being a loving person, eventually it's going to come to that. It's going to come to that, right? There's some people you can have your ups and downs with, but it's packaged in love, right?
Right.
Then you have your people that you have your ups and downs with, and you know at the end of the day, they don't really have your best interests at heart. They want to, you know, culture vultures or energy vampires. So I'm really good at having discernment and being able to tell who's who. Block Nation. I don't play. That's right.
Block Nation.
Don Brazil, Block Nation. Well, you know what I'm saying? We don't play no games over here. Learn how to protect your energy. Block Nation.
Yeah, you definitely got to. Now, that leads to another question. Now, for me, not to say that I have an issue with blocking people, but I don't get bothered, or it's not like they mess with my energy. It's almost like I feel like I'm supposed to look at that stuff. I'm supposed to engage in that so I can do what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
So
yeah. And
that's
for some,
how
I'll put it this way, right? You're right? But there is a limit that you have, and everybody has it, right? You know, it's different when you have, you know, 5,000 people versus 20,000 people versus 100,000 people versus 1 million. You understand me? When you're reading the opinions of 1 million people, first off, you don't have 1 million minutes in a day to even do it. You understand what I'm saying? You can't, and I learned this from being around celebrities and stuff. They don't even participate in the internet. They don't even rock with the internet stuff too tough. They don't rock with the social media too tough. They have people that do that for them. You understand? They have people that read comments for them and even post things for them. They go and live their lives, and they have people filming them all day and posting stuff. You see? So one of the things that I learned, you know, from being on tour, doing the lectures and going around also with Joey and Pereira and seeing how things move, it's like every battle is not yours. You don't have to engage in everything. and every comment is not meant for you to take. But if you choose to engage in it, make sure you know your limits, because no matter what, just by going into your eye gate, it's affecting you. Whether you want to let it affect you or not, it's going to, because you have to first sift through it, register it, right? And then decide whether you want to keep it or not. While it's there, it's in there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's affecting you whether you like it or not. And then when you have to do that all day, the bigger you get and the more known you get, popular you get, and the more people that come into your feed, the more you're going to have to deal with that. So it's best to not even indulge in it really as much as you can. And when you see somebody that has the potential to go off track, why even keep them there if it's going to take you off focus? I'll get off focus because I have so many things to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, I have to be attentive to all different things. It's just being aware. You know, I don't like to be unaware of what's going on or what's being said, right? So if there's somebody that loves to take me off track, you got to go. I'll block you in a heartbeat because you don't have my best interest at heart. Some people love me enough, right? Even if they have concerns, they love me enough to keep me focused on what needs to be done, because there's an overall purpose here that doesn't involve me. It involves the people and the masses as a whole. It's not just about me, you know? So I have to say, you know what, on behalf of the people that I need to protect and the people that I need to introduce to consciousness, I'm going to have to let you go.
I can dig it.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. Well, I guess I'm not that big yet because I entertain certain things because I feel like we have these pre-recorded thoughts about everything, and we have these perspectives, and no one checks these perspectives. So someone had put in there how I kind of jump on. If I see something I feel like I need to say something on, you know, I'll go into somebody's, you know, post and say what I gotta say, and I keep it to a minimal because again, everybody had a right to do what they want on their page without the energy that they feel like it and believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
But you have to be overly extra. Like people that just say crazy stuff and cursing, you know, bitches and hoes and all that. Yeah, that stuff I can't have running down my timeline. Like I feel like you're a lost cause. But I see people saying certain things and they're frustrated or extra aggressive. Those are the ones that get me. The overly aggressive, conscious people.
Yeah.
I know their intentions may be good, but they're just so rough about it. There's a few people in the lighthouse that's rubbed me the wrong way in that way. But then I'll see other things, and that's why I try not to do the block thing, because if I did that, then I'll kind of miss on an opportunity to maybe help balance them out.
It's possible. It's possible, right? But I feel like I don't block people. They end up blocking themselves. You see, some people will block their own blessing. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep saying, hey, listen, here's a package of love, and they smack it down. Okay, that's one. Package of love, smack it down, right? If you keep doing it, boom, boom, first off, you're gonna run out of love packages, right?
That's fast.
Eventually, right? So then you're gonna end up hating them and not having no love. When simply you could just say, you know what? I'm not gonna keep giving this person a love package. I'm gonna go somewhere else with this and give it to somebody who's actively wants to receive it. I don't waste time trying to wake people up. I don't do that. You understand? I put the information out there online. Right. Whoever chooses to wake up from it, that's them. Nobody had to come to me and say, Jamaar, wake up. No. Right. That's not the way it works in consciousness. People wake up. You understand? So you're wasting your time trying to I don't want to say influence, but what's the word? Persuade, convince. Both of those. Mm-hmm. You ought not do that. You ought not do that, because what can happen is ultimately, you know what'll happen? You'll end up waking somebody up before their time. They haven't gone through their cycles of what they need to do. That can happen where you wake somebody up, right, when they wasn't meant to be woken up yet. The rude awakening, that is worse than somebody gracefully waking up and understanding every part of the process of waking up. When you rudely wake somebody up and you force them to wake up, how do you feel when somebody forces you to wake up and they shake you wake up with a headache? Yeah,
and you have an attitude too.
You have a hell of an attitude, right? Mm-hmm. Because you didn't go through the steps of what coming out of the REM process of the rapid eye movement. You didn't go through the steps of having your dream, right? And being able to come into fruition and get your download and wake up properly. So I don't waste time trying to persuade or convince anybody to wake up out of their slumber. I put the information out there in the airways, and if they so happen to find mine and I'm the one that woke them up, so be it. So be it. I'm happy to be a part of your ascension because I'm not the only person that's doing this. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. Like I don't force it upon anybody. You know, it wasn't forced upon me. I've had seeds planted. I've had people when I was like, you know, in my teens and in my early 20s, my brother to this day. Why? Because he didn't force it upon me. Had he forced it upon me, we wouldn't be friends today. Because I was so engulfed in my doctrine at the time. No, not lie. Not lie. It's my man Star. His name is Elohim Star. He's on the next album, actually. He's on that record, Third Eye.
Okay.
The one that's spitting real fast. He's the one, yeah. He's the one that planted the seed years ago. And he didn't force it on me. He planted the seed. I wasn't ready for it because I was engulfed in Christianity. He planted the seed. I said, nigga, you crazy. And he walked away. You understand what I'm saying? And we were still friends, you know what I'm saying, throughout that. And he wasn't actively trying to wake me up. He just planted the seed. I looked at him like he was nuts. And then when I woke up, right, years later, 2 years ago, or was it last year, I had to sit down and apologize to him and say, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew how to wake me up, which was sometimes it's just planting a seed and just simply walking away. He didn't even water it. He let the trials and tribulations of life water the seed. You understand? And some people, that's what has to happen. They got to fall rock bottom and have a near-death experience before they wake up. So don't think that you have a responsibility to be a superhero for anybody's consciousness, because you don't. You don't. Just put the information out there because the universe told us what's going to happen. They're going to wake up.
That's a fact. Okay, so I guess that definitely segues into my next question, because I was going to ask what are the pros and cons of being a leader?
The pros and cons of being a leader. I would say the pros of being a leader is everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Do you have something important to say? Do you have something of value to bring to the universe now that everybody's watching? The cons of being a leader is everybody's watching. Do you have something important to say? Because everybody's watching. There's only one thing here. You understand? When you're focused, all the other, we have one task here, is to put the information out there. So it's a gift, and the gift and the curse is wrapped in one.
It is.
It's wrapped in a package. And I told people I learned this when I went to Vegas, when that stranger walked up to me in Vegas, knew who I was, you know, and was random, wasn't there for the Lighthouse Power Trip, was just in Vegas and saw me in a hotel and was like, you're Jamaar Milton. I'm one of your followers. And I was like, do I? And she walked away.
Oh, hell no.
Didn't have a conversation with me, nothing. And I'm looking like, what the hell?
I'd have been scared too. Like, word.
You understand? Like, that's some spooky, you know what I'm saying? That's spooky to go through, you know, especially for the first time, you know, because so there was an extent to where I didn't realize, you know, how much influence I had on the planet at that moment. I you know, it's a humbling experience, but at the same time, you know, it's a little bit scary. So because, you know, you're so exposed to the universe and people know you, sometimes they'll live their lives vicariously through you. So they expect you to do things that they would do. You understand? If not, they hold it against you because you're not doing what they expect you to do. Right? Like, for instance, people who was watching the Super Bowl versus people who didn't watch the Super Bowl. We looked at some activists and we said, you know, every activist shouldn't be watching the Super Bowl now. You know what I'm saying? Some activists did. Some participated, the whole 9 yards. There were some civil rights movements people in the damn Super Bowl for the coin toss. Okay? So it's like when you're on that plateau or that level of exposure, right? That level of popularity, people expect you to make the decisions that they would make. And it's an unfair place to be for anybody, really. So I look at celebrity status. When I look at the celebrities, I have a lot of respect for them because, you know, I see some of the moves that they make despite what is being said. Some of the moves that they make is them standing on their square and you know, and doing what they feel in their heart. Any celebrity that can make a move according to their heart, to me, I just love. You know, and they're not doing according to the industry of what people think because they're genuine. You know, and that's how I try to stay. I try to do things according to what Jamaar would do, as opposed to what the people expect me to do. Like, nah, I'm gonna do what I feel I should be doing. This is my space, my universe. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the way that I move.
I've been trying to tell people all the time we need to focus on the message instead of the messenger. That's a big issue that we have. And I think it's still trying to follow the whole God complex. We're still looking for somebody to save us.
That's
So
religion.
whoever steps up to do that, you know, you are now the designated. And when I be watching TV shows, I notice that. I watched a show called Gotham. And this particular storyline is supposed to be before Batman was Batman and all of that jazz. So there's something going on, and they're all in distress. And the government decided not to give them any help. So there's this one police officer who's taking, putting boots on the ground and taking responsibility for everybody. As soon as something goes wrong, the whole herd of them are coming for him. What are you gonna do? We're running out of food. Where's our help? Where's the medicine?
Right.
But he's stuck here with y'all, though. The government left him here with y'all.
Right.
What he's supposed to do? Like, it's crazy. It's a million y'all and one of him. But
right.
Y'all mad. And if he fails, you're gonna crucify him for not being able to save you, and you didn't have any help. You just sitting there waiting for help.
People will crucify you, because they want you to do everything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as far as what's being done here in the lighthouse, as far as what I do, like, the videos show you what I'm doing every day. Like people get to stay home and sleep through my videos and come back and watch it later. I don't get to do that. You know what I'm saying? They get to go back and push rewind. I don't get to do that. I got to wake up every morning and make sure that I got something for the people, which means what I do during the day has to be meaningful and impactful. I can't do the same day twice. If I do the same day twice, that means I have the same message for you twice. Have you seen me preach the same message over and over? No. Every day is something different. You understand what I'm saying? So, there's a responsibility here when you're a leader that nobody even really thinks of because, they're just, it's something that when you're doing it well, they shouldn't think about. They shouldn't think about what you're doing for them when you do it well, right? Yeah. But then the flip side of that, the curse of that is they get comfortable and they expect you to do it. Don't you know that I could and end this all today? All today. This is my Facebook page. My Facebook. When I feel like it's over. Right. And niggas is gonna be on their own. You understand what I'm saying? And rightfully so, because that's what I want to do. I want to build people up so that they can go and expand and do it for themselves. But some people just want you to do it. They just want you to do it and want to watch you do it and live vicariously through you doing it, as opposed to having boots on the ground and doing it for themselves. So get ready for that as you start to expand and as you start to get more popular in doing what you're doing. Get ready for people having expectations of you, and most of them are unrealistic. Just like they want me to travel around the world and do lectures for everybody and do it for free. Nigga, I'm supposed to eat. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
They want me to travel the world. Just think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's so illogical. It's almost like I'm not a human being, like I'm a robot. How's my family supposed to eat? Am I supposed to depend on the $20 that you give a year? You sound ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And they set these expectations that are just so crazy. Boy. And I've watched so many of our elders shrivel up. You know what I'm saying? Our elders who don't have what they're supposed to have. The elders that came and went. You know what I'm saying? And our ancestors, they treated them like crack. They ain't gonna do that to me. Oh hell no. I'm too
I
smart
know
for that.
that's right.
Oh no.
That's right.
Oh
I
no.
know
You
that's
want me to leave my family? You want me to go sleep in a hotel room by myself when I got a queen at home? You want me to leave my son and my kids and all that? And then you're not gonna pay?
And then you're not gonna pay me.
We can end this live today. We can end this live today. Now understand you ain't got nobody and you, but listen, man.
Ooh.
Listen, man. Listen, I ain't got to be out here. I ain't even got to be online. You know what I'm saying? My life is doper offline. Huh? Is it? Come on.
That's right.
My life is way more doper offline. This is
believe it.
residue. This is residue. If we 20,000 strong with residue, you need to come on out here and see what my life really like in real life.
I know that's right.
Yeah. No ego. You know, I can't show everybody all the things that I do because, you know, people will get mad. They'll be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This dude think he all that. It's like, nah, bro, I am. Like, stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no ego. It just is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? If you was, you'd be where I'm at. Like, period. The same way there's people that's way more ill than me doing great things. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see half the stuff that they be doing. I know it's way greater than what I'm doing, though.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. I just know I ain't going nowhere if the bag ain't there. That's a fact.
And that should go for anybody. Guess what? Those same people feel the same way. Isn't that what they tripping about, giving you money? So you're not supposed to make money.
You see why I had this little nigga ready? Like, because this ain't rocket science.
I'm supposed to give him mine? Yeah, nah,
right? Bro. You gave up yours. Dummy. You know, so this is where we at. This is where we at. You know, people are gonna treat you how you allow them to treat you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow the conscious community to do that to me because I know what I'm worth. I know what I worth. I know what the life that I live and the things that I've gone through is valuable. My story is valuable because there are not many people who've made it out of what I made it out of. There are not many people. The majority of the people that I grew up with that had the same circumstances are still stuck in that mind state, still stuck there. That and that's just the theological part. If we want to talk about the physical part of the majority of my friends that ended up in jail or dead, you know, that's the typical story, right? But then the mental slavery as well. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm worth. You're not gonna have me out here just, you know, being a superhero and waking everybody up and then I'm starving. Like, nah, bro. Nah.
And you've given 3 years worth of free information.
3 years. I give the information. I'm still giving the 3. I'm still doing
it. And continuing. That's so true.
The lectures are free. All of the lectures are free. You know, but you gotta pay for me to come out there and leave my family. You're gonna have to do that. And you know, with any speaker, you know how much these white keynote speakers make? They make $30,000 a pop.
I bet they do.
They make 30. Do you hear what I'm saying? Remember when I told you I paid? It was $3,000 for me to go to that thing, to that lecture that I went with Ed Foreman. Right, my job gave it to me for free. Right. Right. Do you know how many people were sitting in that room? If my ticket was worth $3,000, right, and we had over 30, 40 people in the room, he made $30,000 off of that. Yep. You understand? And he's not giving you consciousness. He's giving you the effects of consciousness wrapped in a Tom Hubo. What we're doing is giving you the actual source, the real thing, the nugget, right? You're not gonna have me out here talking about, yeah, dude, nah, bro. Because I know the hours that I put in to do this studying. I know the hours that I put in to get the work for you. While you were sitting at home burning incense and saging, you know, bruh, I was in them books. I was traveling to different continents trying to get this information. I was getting hit upside the head. I was watching my house burn down. I was going through broken marriages and broken homes to have come full circle to give you the knowledge. You understand me? That's worth something.
Yes,
That's
it
worth
is.
something. You're not gonna play. That's like playing my life. That's like saying your life ain't worth nothing. Essentially, yeah, right. If you're not
You
gonna pay me for my
basically,
time,
yeah,
that's
that's a fact. That's
that's
a fact.
basically F your life. So you don't have my best interest at heart. You know what?
All right. I don't know who I said this to, but me and my cousin last year went to this private situation with Damien, I think it's the guy who started the CEO of Fubu and sold it.
Right,
Damien, yeah,
Damon.
that dude.
Damon. Yeah,
Yeah, Damien something, yeah.
yeah.
So he had this secret situation where he had to go through email. He didn't advertise it on social media, nothing. It had all through email, word of mouth, and you came and you thought that you was gonna come and get some tips from him for your business. So
Right.
me and my cousin thought, oh, we on this. Free tips
I
from the
signed up
dude
for that,
from
but I didn't show
Charging.
up. I know what you're talking about.
I showed up the one in Atlanta.
Okay, how'd it go?
So how it goes is Damon didn't show up at all. He sent his minions.
Right.
And what they told you is they gave you a briefing about what they would be telling you after you pay this 2 stacks.
Oh, you see, I didn't even do that. At least I tell people up front, hey, listen, make sure the bag is there, and then I'll show up. That's for sure. You know,
Nah,
I didn't even
he
do that.
tricked us. We got tricked in that.
Now let me ask you
Then he
something. Let me ask you something. Are you mad at Damon?
not at all. And he gave it, oh, that was a discount. The 2 stacks was a discount. He normally charged 6 stacks. Right. So what he did was, so whoever's ready to get this right now, go to the back. Some people who got businesses, they was ready to lay down. They gave them 2 stacks
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's going to give them the keys to be in his position, and you're going to
Listen,
pay him for that. You're not going to be on his level and not pay him to get on his level. He had to work for that.
you kidding
He
me?
had to do a lot to be on Shark Tank. So you're not just going to be on Shark Tank with him and not do the work that he did. You're going to pay him.
I've never ever in my life been upset about paying for something that I wanted or I felt of value. I've never been upset about that. So if somebody's upset of paying me, then they don't see me as valuable.
Right.
Why are you here?
I know that's right.
Right? Like, just think about it.
Right,
When I walk into the spot, I'm like, yo, let me get that Arizona, and I give him that $1, right? And he give me my Arizona. I'm never walking away tight that I got an Arizona. Exactly. Because I paid $1 for it. Right? Why would you get mad about something you paid for that you thought was valuable when you got what you asked for? Exactly. I would never do that. There's some people that will do that. They be like, yo, he made me pay $30 for my ticket. Did he show up? Yeah, he showed up. Did he give you the lecture? Yeah, he gave me the lecture. The fuck you mean? What you mad at then? As long as I held up to the end of the bargain, as long as that person who came showed up and held up to the end of the bargain, what you mad at? You a fool. I see. Yeah, I see what it. No, the problem is you couldn't afford that 30. That's what it was. You couldn't afford that 30, right? It was your last. But you don't want the rest of the world to know that. That little bit, right, that you put out there was your last. So you want to try to blame the product. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford the Apple phone, don't go into the Apple store. Find somebody that had it fell off the truck or something. Because if you can't drop that grand, you better get you an Android. You better get you an Android, and don't be mad.
Hold on. I got that S9 though. Don't be playing
Android. Don't be mad. Get you an Android, right? But you sitting here smiling, you happy because you paid your money, you got what you wanted, right? All right then. So you know what I'm saying? Don't be mad because you couldn't afford it and you spent the bread because you didn't have to. Like, you could have got you an Android. You could have been Tamara and got you Android. You know, I'm good. I got my little Android. Listen, we all been there. You see this?
My old phone is
look. This is my old phone. It's still sitting here. You're on my new phone. I still got my old one. You on my new. I got my old one sitting right here. Look, you see the square? Listen, we all been through it. People got to learn how to humble themselves. If you can't afford the new iPhone, don't do it. Get the old joint. Get you a 5S. It's $60 a month. You're good.
I like my S9. This my
You
Android.
understand me? This is my old joint. Just to show you how humble I am. I still got it sitting right here on my computer.
Oh man.
You know, my new joint I got for free, so I'm not mad at it. But in any case, I wasn't mad when I spent back in the day, I spent $300 for this. For a 5S, I spent my $300. And I'm not mad because I got what I needed. It serves what it was supposed to do. So, you know, a lot of people in the college community, they get upset, and that's because they've been hurt, they've been burned by the Tom Who so many times that they don't know that there's a good way to do business and there's a right way to do things. So they think that anytime that you're giving up money that you're not supposed to. Like, money is meant to be spent. That's what you're supposed to do with it. As long as you're getting the value that you're putting out, then that's what you do. You know, you're not taking that with you. It's supposed to be spent. So as long as we're circulating it and keeping it in the black community, what are you mad at?
Because we're not doing that. How do we facilitate that? We need to learn how to circulate our dollar in our community. See, we don't do that.
And that's why we built the Lighthouse. That's why we wanted our website to be geared around black-owned businesses, so that when people are spending their money, they can see where it's going. You know what I'm saying? You know that it's staying in a black-owned business. You know what I mean? What that black-owned business does with it, you know, you'll be able to see right there on the website because they're building up their infrastructure in their website with us. Everything's right there. So that's what the Lighthouse is really all about. We're just trying to help people in any shape, form, or fashion that we can, whether it's through business, spirituality, you know, sciences, and, you know, whatever it is. That's what we want to be about. That's our overall agenda and our purpose and vision. So, you know, you can't be mad at somebody of how they spend their money. You just can't. It's just, that's not your, it's none of your business, first off, right? But you just can't be mad at it because you don't know what their life is like and what they have to do to survive. You know, there's some people who have white landlords. You're gonna get mad because you know they have to give up that money for the rent. You know, that's how that's their place to live. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, it's going to end up going to that white bank. Like, how many people that you know that have mortgages? Those aren't black-owned banks. There's very few. How many black-owned banks you know? So everybody who you know that owns a house, primarily 99% of them, that money is going to a white-owned bank. Are you yelling? Are you mad at them? No, you're not. And that's on a grander scale. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They accept it. See, we accept that from the Tomahawk. See, we're used to them. They make us do everything, so we're used to that. So now it's almost like, well, we can't check them, so we're gonna check each other. I'm not gonna give you that because the white man makes me give it to him. It seems to be the mentality.
People in the conscious community, they pick and choose what they want to be mad at today according to their lifestyle and their agenda, right? And they expect you to fit into that mold. So if you don't fit into it, then, they automatically get, angry at you. But it's like, if we really picked apart everybody's life and where their money goes, a lot of people will look crazy where it's actually going. It's a small percentage of them that are really gearing it around African people. If we really picked apart everybody's life from layer by layer, where's your money going? From your car notes to your mortgages, insurance,
cell phone,
huh? The gas you put in your car, huh? Where you shopping to buy your food? Do you really want to do that and put people's lives on?
Right. That's a fact.
Let's be real.
You get to hide at the internet, though, so you get to hide behind the screen.
Yeah, people be hiding behind the. They be hiding, yo. They be hiding. But see, the Lighthouse is so ill, you know what I'm saying? And my Wakanda Warriors is so ill that I see everything. And we're going to find your ass. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Anybody trying to hide behind we see you. We see you. Yeah, some of them even on here. They think they slick. Nah, nigga, we see you. Huh? We see you, nigga. We letting you live. Trust me. Huh? When the smoke clears,
ooh, boy,
you're going to see that 9 swirling them up. You're going to see that 9. We see you, nigga. That's how we move.
Oh man.
Stop laughing, Chris. That shit ain't funny. These niggas think they slick. Niggas be hiding in the ether. They be they think they hide in the ether.
Oh man, yo, you guys hella jokes.
Too
But you
small
right
for that,
though.
man.
But
My
you right,
research
though.
game too crazy. You don't think I can find you on Facebook? Out of all the places? You might as well start a blog. You might as well start a blog. You can't. I can tell by the energy of what people post, what they talking about in their living rooms. I'm so good with it now. I know what you talk about in your private homes. That's how much of the algorithm that I study the universe. That I can tell about the conversations that you have with other individuals in private. Just you and them, I can tell what you talking about. Your posts say a lot more than you think. People don't realize that shit.
Yo, I say that all the time. I hate when people say, "Oh, don't go by my posts. I just be making stuff up." That's bullshit. You're not about to post, co-sign, write, or say nothing that doesn't resonate with you, especially as an adult. You're not just gonna say nothing crazy and don't think that, you know what I'm saying, that we don't think you're talking about yourself or you actually feel that way.
Come
All
on.
adults be thinking, "Oh, don't be date. This is not my life. This is just the internet."
Stop. Stop.
Yes.
Stop. You're not practicing it. You're not practicing that. You're not
Mhm.
practicing that art. You know what I'm saying? People aren't practicing that art on a daily basis like we doing here. You know, in the lighthouse where we just dropping intel. When you're dropping an opinion, it's based off an experience that you've had. It's based off of something that you've perceived or perspective that you have. When you're not dropping truth, you could, you know, and even sometimes when people are dropping truth, it's based on something that they've gone through that they feel that people need to know that's truthful. You understand? So there's so many layers to this that if you're any person of intelligence that really delved into psychology of human beings, I could break down any human being and their whole personality. By the time I'm done, I'll have these niggas crying. I had these niggas cursing at me and hanging up phones because I would like a sword. You understand? And I try not to use it for that. I'd rather use it for, you know, yeah. I'd rather use it for the knowledge. If I had to fight somebody with words, they're never gonna win. I've been doing this every day. No ego. We've been doing this every single day. An hour a day is what I've been sparring with. An hour a day. You know what I'm saying? People looking at me right now, they say, "Yo, he mad long-winded. He could talk." You goddamn right. I could talk for a whole 24 hours straight. I'm built for this.
I know that's right.
Huh? I've been doing this every day. You gonna tell me? I don't even, you know, I love Tamara, but she didn't even have to be on the screen today for me to break this down to you. She know it.
No.
Stop playing. So some of these people, they try to get on my level, and it's like, yo, you're not, because you ain't put in the work we put in.
Yeah, this might as well be 9 a.m.
Come on, son. It might as well be. It might as well be. Y'all gonna make me get some slides and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, we gotta play the music. Nah, you know what I'm saying? No, I love you, Tamara. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but you're right though. No, but you're absolutely right, and you don't understand. Like that's what I love about you in the lighthouse. Like I know where I am in this, and I'm following you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my own research stuff.
You walking with me. You walking
yeah,
with me. Like you're not. Tamara's not a follower. You're not a follower at all. You're walking with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to tell you to get up in the morning to do your show. I don't have to tell you to promote yourself. I don't have to tell you to be out there to set up engagements and all that. Like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that they even use followers because I have people in here that are actually doing the work such as yourself. You're not a follower. You understand what I'm saying? You're a worker. You're working alongside of me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, I tip my hat and I give credit where it's due. You see, I don't show up on everybody's show. I ain't over here trying to link up with everybody. Nah, son. Because if you ain't working the way you're supposed to be working, you ain't worth it. Like you're not worthy. You don't deserve me. No ego. You don't deserve me on your show because we working 100 times more potent than you are. You know what I'm saying? 100 times more. Period. And whether we right or wrong, it don't matter. We're working. You know what I'm saying? Some people sitting at home doing nothing and they just criticize it. And you know, and that's the stuff that I don't like, especially when I see good people like, you know, doing well. Like if anybody criticizes Tamara, I'm coming for their head. Like period. I'm coming at you. Like off with your head, because I know that she puts the work in. She works hard for hers, and she don't deserve anybody criticizing her. What are you criticizing somebody when you're not doing that work? Do you even come on once a week to give some knowledge to the people? Once a month. Once every 6 months. So you ain't. So who are you to hop on Tamara's feet and talk crazy about her? Nah, off with your head. So don't ever let me see that. My people gonna see it, and it's off with your head, and we coming for you.
Well, I appreciate that, and that goes both ways.
Word up.
That goes both ways. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna wind this down. I want you to give me this definition, because to be quite honest, I think this is the key to everything. Knowledge of self.
Knowledge of self?
That is the segue. Yeah, that's the segue to all of this. So define that for me.
I would say knowledge of self is tapping in to the infinite source of possibility of one's consciousness.
Say that one more time.
Tapping in to the infinite source of possibilities of one's consciousness is true knowledge of self. Some people use knowledge of self, but they limit it. It's like, no, it can't be this, it can't be that. Based on what? Of your perspective? Because if I could find one person where it didn't work out that way, it's not divine law, it's not infinite, it's limited at that point. So knowledge of self, we have to understand, it never ends. It's an infinite source of information about consciousness, and you can tap into it whenever you want. You can tap in or you can tap out. You can tap in or tap out. And I don't think the vast majority of people who say knowledge of self really understands even what they're saying. It's like cliche now. It's a fad now. So people have lost the potency of when we say knowledge of self. This is why we have to put the word true in front of it. True knowledge of self. Because there are some people who are using it, but it's not true knowledge of self. It's tainted, it's limited, it's watered down. You know, just the fact that we have to think about what we're gonna say waters it down. You should be able to freely express yourself and not think about what anybody else thinks. So it says that there's some watered down versions there that put barriers and labels on people when they express themselves. You understand? There's a limit of understanding, even, where people become to the point where they're disrespectful knowingly. I can understand if you're making a mistake, right? You didn't know that it offends this person, right? But when you actively seek out somebody to disrespect them, it shows that there are barriers in place when we're dealing with knowledge of self.
That's a fact.
That people like to set and put you in a box when we're dealing with knowledge of self. They don't want the full. They don't want 100 proof. Not 100 proof. You know what I'm saying?
Too strong.
Some people can barely handle 5%. You know? But really the majority of us are teetering around the 40 to 50%. 100 proof is very far few in between, and it's hard to find. You know, so when you do find it, you know, you got to protect it, you got to cultivate it. So knowledge of self, tapping into the infinite source of consciousness, you know, of that individual. That's true knowledge of self to me.
How do you find that?
Choice or trauma?
Choice or trauma.
Choice or trauma. You either gonna trip and fall on it, or you're gonna go looking for it. You understand? So this is why you ought not fret and overexert yourself trying to wake somebody up. Because you don't wake somebody up. They wake up by choice or by trauma. That's how it works.
Gotcha.
People that are forced to wake up walk away from consciousness, because that's the same thing that religion did to them. Religion was forced upon them. So when you force consciousness on somebody, it has the same effect. This is just human nature. We don't want what we're forced to have. We want what nobody can find. We want what nobody else has. We want what's special, that speaks to us as an individual. So forcing it upon somebody has a result, has a reverse result that you're looking for. Put it somewhere where they can find it by mistake.
Gotcha.
That's the art in what I do. Trying to put it somewhere without imposing it on you. Put it somewhere here to make you curious enough. So, sometimes even saying certain things that may not resonate with that person, just so they can go ahead to try to prove you wrong, to come full circle. You might have to do that for some people, because walking alongside of them doesn't work for them. They get more energy out of combating and going against somebody than they do with agreeing with somebody. This is why you have forums like Sonetta that explode, where they have debates all day, because there's a large population of people that learn by seeing quarrels. They learn from debating. How do I know that? Because I was one of them.
I was just about to say that you definitely said that. You had said that in
I was
one
one
of
of
your
them.
videos.
I learned from watching people spew knowledge, spew hate, spew whatever they wanted to spew back and forth. So I know that there's a population of people that learn from that. So I don't knock people like that. Now, other people who don't learn from that, they're like, oh, why is he debating? Oh, it's such a downgrade now, right? And they hurt by it, but they don't know. Like, my inbox crazy. Brother Jamaar Milton, I saw the conversation that you had with Nature Boy and how y'all was going back and forth. I can show you, if I showed you my inbox, it would blow your mind. How many people ascended from wanting to be on a Christ consciousness to wanting to be on an eternal Om consciousness, which is higher, just by simply seeing that. That video's at 19,000 views right now. You understand what I'm saying? So everything's not for you. Sometimes it's for other people. You know what I mean? But you know, people that live vicariously feel like it's a downgrade for whatever reason. It's like, no, somebody did the same thing for me. That's how I got to where I'm at. You just don't understand it, right? That's all.
As long as it's constructive, and you guys are,
that's your reservation. It doesn't even have to be constructive. It don't gotta be that. It could be two people totally tearing each other down. Bang, bang, bang. What can you learn from that? You tell me.
From two people going at each other?
Going at each other's throats. Personal level and everything. What can you learn?
What not to do? Pretty much. That's obviously not the way to handle that, because no one is learning anything if y'all are yelling at each other. If y'all going into personal, y'all not talking about knowledge, because you talk about personal.
So now you, as a leader, you've learned, right, that doesn't do anything. You didn't learn anything, right?
Right.
People don't know that when me and Nature Boy had that thing going back and forth online, right? Afterwards, we was on the phone on WhatsApp, like, yo, I love you, my nigga, yo. They don't know that. You understand? Because we both come full circle to understand that we're stronger united and connected than we are disconnected, regardless of our ideologies and our opinions. We're both stronger connected, even if it's on opposing sides. There's some people that didn't like what I said, and they gravitated towards him. There were some people that didn't like what he said, gravitated towards me. Doesn't matter. We both win.
Yep.
Huh? Whether you Pacquiao or Mayweather, you both walking away with a check.
Right.
And new things. It doesn't matter. As long as people are waking up. So and this is what the biblical text was trying to give you in the analogy of Jesus Christ. Even if it means that your flesh has to die to save the rest of the world, you might have to be that guy. You might have to be that guy. You can learn from myth too. You might have to be crucified, beaten, persecuted in order to get your point across.
So
in order to wake people up to say, look at what people will do to you just for having a difference of opinion. We need to fix this in the world as I fade to black.
Yes.
Huh?
So true.
We have something that we need to fix because they'll take it this far. I didn't do anything, but they'll take it this far. What did I ever do to them? They don't want the right? So there's just levels to this, as there's levels in leadership, and some people will understand it, some people won't. You know, we're dropping those jewels here today. I'm happy to be on the show that we're able to talk about this type of stuff, because these are the type of conversations that, you know, I can't have when I teach. I can't have these type of conversations. It's a different level of understanding. You have to be a leader to understand how leaders think. You understand?
Absolutely.
When you're not a leader, you're talking to the lay. It's, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? You're the lay. I'm not having this conversation with you. You're crucifying. You know what I'm saying? You won't get it. You've never been in that position. You don't know the response. So, you know, it's just layers to this.
You're absolutely right. You dropping these jewels. See, I'm learning. See, I'm trying to make sure when I get to year 3 that I'm well equipped. That's what I'm doing right now.
You're good at what you do. You're good at what you do.
I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. I'm gonna get with this whole walking beside you concept. I'm gonna get there.
It's a fact.
I'm gonna get there.
You're already there.
Okay, so for someone who is trying to wake up, whatever, what is some literature that they can start with to you know, start them on a path to knowledge of self or whatever it is? Where can they go study?
It all depends on where they're coming from, and this is one of the most difficult questions, because you're dealing with an individual, right? And you don't know what their past is. You don't know what they've been through. So I can only speak for myself, really. In this, you know, coming out of Christianity, some of the books that I could recommend, I would say It's Okay to Let Go by J.L. Ford. It's Okay to Let Go. He's one of the guys that I met early on in consciousness, and he wrote a book called It's Okay to Let Go. If you're into history, if you're into knowledge and, you know, things like that, I would get Jamaar A's book, 7 Little White Lies. I would get that, of course. I would get The Secret.
Now I haven't read the book, but I've seen the documentary several times.
I would get The Secret, or watch the movie. The documentary is just as good. And reason being is because that is a manifestation of a lot of the things out of the Emerald Tablets, out of the teachings of Jehuti, is what they're teaching there. A lot of times when you realize what you can do for yourself, through self-manifestation, that can help some individuals who's been waiting on Jesus all their life and he never showed up. When you realize that that power is you, it is within you, and you have the ability to manifest what you want, you know, that can help you in many different ways. You know, so there's a plethora of books. It just all depends upon your mentality, you know, if we want to deal with books. But, you know, for me, I learned more from relationships and from talking to conscious people and connecting myself with them vibrationally than I ever got from a book. The book is, yeah, the book is a perspective. It's somebody's perspective. It's always going to be. You know, human beings write books. Books don't write humans. So why not go straight to the source? You know, even if I wanted to explain this all to you today, even this conversation, and I put it in a book, it would not do it justice as you here talking to me today. Wouldn't do it justice. You know, first off, it would probably take you a month to get through it because it's all written down, right? When we could have handled it in an hour. You know, so just surrounding yourself with the right individuals, with the right mentalities, mind states, and conscious beings will help you to excel much quicker than anything. And that's why the lighthouse is important, because we help you to do that, to get surrounded with the right individuals, to encourage you, to, you know, give you that vibration. You know, that's where you learn more. It's not from the book. The book is what bound you in the first place.
Gotcha. That's why we're going to Egypt.
That's a fact. It's a fact. Come with us to Egypt. You don't know. You don't know. Come with us to Egypt, you know, so you could get that knowledge. Not just that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be talking about books no more. We're going to be talking about experiences and you know, travel parties.
Fact. Like, you don't know how awesome that made me feel knowing that, because like I'm intelligent and school was always easy for me, but after a while it got boring. And I'm the type of person, I can read a book, you know, go through it, you know, take in the information and I can regurgitate it back so I can get a good A on my test. But I actually have to I'm more hands-on when it comes to retaining information. I gotta actually do it than actually being taught. Like, even with dream trips. You know what I'm saying? They can tell you all day, but until you actually use the product and you in the situation, it's not the same. And that's how I learn, and that's how I learn. So I used to be discouraged a little bit. It used to make me feel like I'm not as smart as I thought I was, because you know it's easier for me to do it that way. And you were taught that you know you got to go through school, college, and if you don't know how to do this and take these type of tests, you know what I'm saying, like SATs, if you don't get a high score on this or whatever, then that says something about your intelligence. So I used to think that way a little bit, just a tad. So when I bumped into the lighthouse, and I forgot what video it was, but you explained that, and that just made me feel really good about, you know what I'm saying, about myself, and to just continue doing what I'm doing. That's another reason why I got this platform, because I want to do actual research. I want to get other perspectives. So, because the whole first year of AMPspirationTTV was definitely my opinion and my experiences. That's where my truth was coming from. So this year, I really want to get into the work. I don't want it to be opinions. I need it to all be facts. I want this to elevate, you know, every year. And I feel like I got to go out there to get that.
Yeah, well, I say, you know, it's commendable when you come to a place where you realize you learn. And some people haven't taken that time to study themselves to realize that there's a process to how you learn. And everybody learns in a different way. And this is what I mean about waking people up too fast.
You're breaking up. Come on back. Put some nines in the comments so you can come on back.
Yeah. My fault. That's I am Met trying to call in. You know, we setting up the call event. But what I wanted to say is, you know, if you don't take that time to study yourself to figure out how you learn, that could be detrimental to you, because people can get frustrated, you know, thinking that they just can't learn this, or it's too complicated, or it's a scam, when really all they need to do is take the time to figure out how they learn things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because if you look around yourself and everybody else is winning and you're not, you know, that means that you haven't learned how to do it. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? So you need to figure out, first and foremost, you know, before we present this to you, how do you learn? What is it that it takes for you to learn? Are you a hands-on person? Do you need a book? Do you need a video or DVD? You know, do you need to, you know, sit around and watch people do it a couple of times? Like, what is it? I'm the type of person where I need to see somebody do it, and once they do it, I'm a great mimicker. I can copy. You know what I'm saying? Boom, and then I can tailor make it to myself. That's how I learn best. Don't tell me you want me to drop 30 points and you ain't got nobody on the team that's ever dropped 30 points. I need to see somebody do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way that I am. You know what I'm saying? So so that I don't get discouraged and say that it doesn't work or whatever. So it's just that's a commendable part of having knowledge itself, and that's what makes you great, because you've gotten to that point already where you already know what it takes for you to learn. You know what I'm saying? I understood that about human beings, that it's not you, it's the test, it's the teacher. You know what I'm saying? And they're not teaching it according to how you learn. So we have to revamp that. You need to recognize it first and foremost and let them know, like, this is not the way that I learn. So it's a beautiful thing when you get to that point, but it does take time.
Okay, so give us the long-term agenda for the lighthouse and some closing words.
Long-term agenda for the lighthouse. Eventually, we want to get to a point where it's self-sustaining, where it runs itself. We're getting there. We want to get to the point where all of our staff are paid, and they're all sovereign. We want to get to the point where our website is getting regular viewership. Everything that I'll put our hands to, pretty much so far is turned to gold. But we want to revamp it and take it to a whole nother level without giving away what we want to do. For the naysayers and stuff like that. We just want to do everything that we're doing now times 10. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to the commercial level, not just on an underground conscious level. We want to take the whole community with us. It's not just about the lighthouse. We're trying to do things for Black people in general and tie them to their motherland. Like, that's a whole different level of commitment, a whole different level of understanding and overstanding of where we're going to go with this. It's not just about even traveling the world and having parties and stuff like that. There are things that we need to learn about the universe, that are important. A lot of people are cliche. Well, let's just love one another and just be like. Is there something more than that? You know what I'm saying? Because when you realize that you're being held in a capsule, just sitting there and doing nothing and hugging everybody, that ain't the answer, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to get out this
bubble.
This
Yeah.
bubble. This bubble. We're not just here to toast up and have fun. That's not what we're here to do. There's work to be done. And if you're not doing the work, you can't hang out with us, because we're going to be working. And you're going to be distracting us. We're trying to work. Nothing against nobody, but if you're not doing no work, we can't hang out. And that's what the lighthouse is about. It's about work more than anything. That's what I'm passionate about more than anything. So anybody that distracts me from the work, more than likely I'm coming for their head. So where I see us going, you can't see it. It's something you can't even put a name on it, because we're going outside of the box of what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? We used to being here and toasting up and having parties and celebrating, what we might consider success. But now we got to change what success looks like. We're changing what success looks like. It's not just having your house, your 2 cars, and your garage, and none of that stuff you take it with you.
That's right.
It's not even about having a whole lot of fans or having a whole lot of It's not about records. It's not about money. It's not about none of that. There's a whole different level to where we're thinking as a level of success, to the point where we can't even talk about it online, because it's unheard of. We already did the things this year that people thought was unheard of until it was done. So now when we, you know what I'm saying? So now when we're about to go, we can't talk about it. If you want to be a part of it, you have an opportunity. But we're not going to lay it out for you. Nah.
No, and no other organization does that. You think the Masons gonna let you know what they got going on? You definitely got to go through mad stuff to be one of
Hell
them.
no. We're going to keep these niggas guessing. We're going to keep them guessing.
And what's
Because when they
crazy
don't know,
is
they're going to make up anyway.
Not us. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part.
what
It's
they
okay
don't know,
for
they're
them
going
to
to make
have
up
secrets,
anyway.
but we can't.
Most of the people that's making stuff up, you ain't on the staff. You ain't
Right.
running the admin. Shut your tight ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. So we can't, we can't reveal, I would love to reveal everything that we want to do. Right? But we don't even use that type of language. When we talk with one another, this is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
What we're doing. Mm-hmm. As opposed to we're not trying to set up no group, been there, done that. We're not trying to travel around and meet everybody, been there, done that. We're not. You understand what I'm saying? What we're doing, we can't even talk about. It's a higher level of consciousness. We're talking about There are people that are copying our blueprint, pretending as if they're doing something new. What we're doing is actually new. We can't talk about it because it's new.
That new.
It's that new. So you just wait till it happens. Hopefully you'll be on the wagon. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Words, that new internet. That's the name of the new album, the new internet. That's what
the new internet.
The way we spelling it, N-U, new, NTR, net, NT. That's how we doing. New internet. I'll let you boy. That's all you getting for what's coming in the future. Everything else you're going to have to keep guessing. New album, new internet.
Wow, that's dope. Okay, so closing statements. What you want to give, the last thing you're going to give to the people?
Listen, closing statements, all I want to say is thank you, Inspiration TV for having me. I appreciate everybody that logged on and stayed with us from beginning to end. Hopefully you learned some things. Hopefully you found some information that you want to find out about the Lighthouse, and hopefully you'll get active with us. www.thellighthousemovement.com. We got boots on the ground. www.thellighthousemovement.com. I'm not gonna spell it out for you, Chris.
Chris, I believe Tanya Smiley wrote it. It's in the feed. I think Tanya put it in the feed, so you can scroll up through the feed.
Family. You know what I'm saying? Come join us. And all I want to say is, when it comes to anything with Black people doing great things, right? Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Get involved in something that you're interested in before making any comments about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Get involved with it first and see what it does. See how it works. See how it moves. So that when you make a comment on it, it'll be justified. It's well studied. You understand? In a world in a plethora of information, where people are able to just give information at their leisure, it's just opinions the majority of the time. Get involved hands-on on anything. If you believe in politics and you want to comment about politics, you should be involved in politics.
Right.
If you want to talk about sports, you should be involved in sports to see how hard it is to make those shots before you comment about him missing it. Right?
Right. Exactly.
You should be, whatever it is that you feel you have a comment on, you should be involved in it first. Because that's what we stand on here in the Lighthouse. Boots on the ground, 2019 and beyond. That's what we're doing. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tamara.
I appreciate you so much, King. Thank you for being here. You gave me actually an hour, and you gave me 2 hours of your time.
That's light work.
I appreciate it. I mean, you get the world on in an hour. You gave me 2. So I appreciate that.
I love
you. I appreciate you. So you enjoy your night, King. And yeah, Lighthouse Lit. The lighthousemovement.com. May the divine force in me greet the divine force in you.
Do I. I say, family.
Peace. I love you.
Peace. I love you too, Queen.
Peace. Woo! That was dope. All the dopeness. Oh, no, come back. Here we go. I'm still live. Yes. That was amazing. I know.
This is the first video that I've ever had about 40 folks just sitting there watching, so I appreciate that. I've learned a lot. I hope you did too. And this is the type of energy that I'm going to be bringing to AMPspirationTTV in 2019. You know, this is the year of accountability. This is the year of boots on the ground. We are going out here and we're doing, like you said, we're doing the work. That's what his platform is about. That's what this platform is about. And we're trying to come together and unite. I speak about this all the time, and that's what this is about. And this is why I'm a part of the Lighthouse. That's why I rock with the Lighthouse, because they are, they're facilitating what it is that I want to do. My purpose is to help and to teach, and they're giving me a platform to do that. And I love it. I love it. Y'all need to definitely look up the Lighthouse. Come be a part of the change that you want to see. We have different branches in every city. If you don't have one, then you need the person that needs to start it, because we need to stick together. We have to come and put our talents, together and make it work for us. We absolutely need to do that. So this is awesome. Do-ah, do-ah, do-ah to the king. All right. Well, Wednesday, we shaking some stuff up. Okay. I have been talking to a really good friend of mine that I grew up with. She is into women's empowerment, but she throwing a little sexy on it. Okay, she's a dancer, she does pole work, she does chair work, and she's also a contortionist. Yeah, so my girl Lucy McKinnon, Loose Juice, with her Juiceology, she's going to be my special guest on Wednesday, and we're also going to have a little segment that I'm adding to Wednesday. Wednesday is also Woden's Day, but it's also Hump Day. So she is going to bring a little sexy to AMPspirationTTV. So ladies, she's going to be coming through with some routines, some things for you, to lay down on your king. Fellas? She's going to give you something to see. And it's all about women's empowerment. This is about, honestly, being comfortable with yourself. And it's also knowledge of self. Being comfortable with who you are and being able to do the things that you want to do. So that's what we got coming on Wednesday. So you make sure y'all tune in. All right, on Wednesday, Lucy McKinnon with Juiceology. That is coming on Wednesday. I am excited. You guys have to be there. Show on up. Okay, make sure y'all hit that share button. Share. Because we got to make Ampspiration go viral. This has been super dope. I love y'all. I cannot wait to implement all of these new developments that I have come across. We are going to be doing a lot of collaborations, especially with the Divine Feminine. We have, again, I have to stress it, we have to stick together. So I am trying to put different situations and lock myself into concepts that I can do that. All right, so we have a lot coming this year. Make sure you tune in. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday, AMPspirationTTV. I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. I love y'all. And cheers to another 360 plus 5. All right? Love y'all. Be inspired and peace.